Black businesses in the built environment industry have united on a continent to push for transformation in the sector. They have gathered at the Ghallager Convention Centre in Johannesburg for the inaugural Black Business Council Built Environment Indaba. The Indaba serves as a platform for the public and private sector, academics, researchers, built environment practitioners to discuss innovative ways to transform the industry. Human Settlements Minister Mmamoloko Kubayi delivered a keynote address on the last day of the Indaba. SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi is at the Indaba and he joins us live. Katlego, thank you so much for your time. What did the minister say to the delegates at the Built Indaba?
A very good afternoon to you, Nastasia, and to our viewers at home. You find us now this afternoon in the exhibition hub. This is because we really saw that keynote address by the minister earlier on in the morning, just giving a sense to those that are here around how they can play their role as well, working with government to ensure the public-private partnerships become a reality, looking at the well-needed issues of the lack of service delivery attributed to some of these projects that have not worked over time. So we see her just frankly giving an account of what has happened in the past 30 years, saying that those gaps are becoming really, really visible, and there is a need to ensure that there's all hands on deck and everybody comes through with ensuring that there is infrastructure financing, for instance, for those that are working within this space, also coming through to give a reassurance of the projects database that they are working on as a government to ensure that there's a rollout of services on the ground for the people. But you know very well, Anastasia, that those gaps within her department would see the mushrooming really of informal settlements within this space, and some of those municipalities are here today just giving stock of what really they've been experiencing over time within some of these sectors. I'm going to also just step out of shot for now, just for Gabi to show you what is happening behind us. These are some of the sectors and some of the role players that are here today, just looking at CETA being the construction and education and training just authority that is here. The small enterprise finance agency is here. I'm also just seeing the built environment stall that is here with us, and most of those role players are just taking stock. Bargaining councils as well here to try by all means to bring themselves closer to government on a frank talk and a reflection of what has been happening in the sector. I'm going to take you to Emfuleni now, and this is where we find Mike, and Mike will give us a sense of how, as a resident, you've really been receiving really all of these developments within issues of projects and infrastructure development within your space. We know very well that communities are also reflecting on the past 30 years on what has been happening over time, and we find you here at this Indaba, inaugural Indaba in the built environment sector. Welcome to the SABC. Mike, give us a reflection, a sense of what has been happening there in Emfuleni.
Once again, thank you, Katlego, and the viewers at home. Us at Emfuleni, we are having a major challenge. As you've known that we have challenges of the municipalities at home, of our municipality at home, but the big issue within our space, it's the sewer problem, because the moratorium has been lifted at our space for building or development. So our infrastructure for sewer, it's that of 1972, and the population has grown. So we are having a serious challenge. So what we want to do as private sector to the government on private-public partnership, if our municipality can hear us, is that we want to have the international funding into that space to say, on the issues that we want to see on our project, but we tap into the issue of sewer as one of the things that we need to collectively look into, as we want to collect to the network and make sure that there's no spillage of sewage everywhere where we go. So we as the private sector, we are ready. We want to engage with the municipality, but our municipality problem with the current maybe administration, they want to be the champion of everything. They don't want to work with the private sector as and when these things are happening. So if they can come on board, invite us into some of this projects, and then we can have the solutions collectively, because we are the enabler. They are the enablers of policies. We are the creators of jobs.
Also, Mike, still having you here, we know very well that the minister also spoke about just informal, not informal settlement, but settlements, human settlements of the future. She's talking about us looking into technology and ensuring that there are projects developed that would incorporate, the movement within where we find ourselves within the technological space. She also mentioned issues of droughts, issues of floods that have really impacted human settlements. And really, we see her making a clarion call to the private sector and residents to come through and work with government to address these issues of shack fires, floods and infrastructure that is destroyed by some of these developments. Give us a sense of whether you're up to the task, whether this clarion call will receive meaning, what has been happening within these issues around human settlements.
Thank you again for the question, and it's a good question. On our side, we have been engaging with some of the creators of the new technologies into the build space, like your Moladi build solution, through our partners that we are working with, Skills and Business Development. They have sourced some of these, innovation technologies. And we, on our projects that we are envisaging, because we have a part of mixed build, mixed housing proposal that we are putting in space for the informal settlement that is sitting at a sports precinct, to say we want to build a bond housing, rental housing, as well as the old age facilities. But we don't want to go build on the brick and mortar approach. We want to bring in these new technologies so that we can utilize the space that we are having as well as the heights, making sure that we cover a lot as one of the pilot program. We are engaging with the Department of Human Settlement. The minister is very, approachive. And then, as and when she responds, some of the things but the challenges lies with our municipalities. If we don't have the lease, if we don't have the land, you cannot unlock the international investment and the investment here at home, because we rely on the international investment and the investment that is coming to our space.
Mike, thank you very much for your time coming through there. As a resident of Emfuleni and also someone that is within this sector, just calling on government and the municipalities to work with them in making the environment conducive so that projects can find meaning on the ground, but also a commitment from the minister that government is going to ensure that there is a database, and those that are here would be included within that database. They're talking about upskilling, reskilling as well, and jobs that will be created through some of these projects. So Emfuleni is here. Yesterday we saw the minister or the premier of Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi, also talk about some of the projects that are in the pipeline in the province that would need some of these men and women that are within this sector to come through in collaborative efforts to work with the government to make them a reality. It's back to you in studio for now, Anastasia.
Thank you to SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi, coming to us live from the Ghallager estate, where he is, of course, attending the black business Indaba, where they are focusing on the built environment industry.